Hi everyone, we're coming to the end of the year, and yes, we are doing the Numerology and Astrology for December 28th, 2021. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 18, and if you add the 1 and the 8 together, you get the number 9. The number 9 shows that as we come to the end of the year 2021, we also need to look at what we need to complete before this year cycles into 2022. I think the best thing that any of us can do is to let go of those things in the past that are no longer relevant and not a part of who we want to become in our future. Each of us will be leaping into these new cycles of life, and while those in our past often propelled us forward, we are not to cling to those methods, people, or movements. All choices are going to direct our life into areas for exploration and experience. I don't believe any choices are bad. It is just that some motivate us in unusual ways. Some show us where we are lacking in our education and awareness. Some choices are believed will make us happy, only to discover the many layers of effort and work that must be embraced to find clarity. Today, embrace all your choices and experiences. They've made you into who you are now. In such moments, I realize that choosing many incarnations is something that seems very reasonable. It is impossible to experience everything that interests us in one lifetime. I know that even now I can feel myself preparing for another life and the actions and things that draw me in. I am open to the infinite possibilities that this dimension offers, but to have another chance at a precious human life, we have to appreciate the ones we have currently and walk softly in gratitude and wonder first, without clinging onto things such as hurts and upsets. I learned a long time ago that every person is on a very different path, and we intersect at times to share wisdom and knowledge, but then must go our own way. That is why embracing change is so essential. We cannot take all those we have loved on our spiritual walk through this reality, because our karmic unraveling is often not theirs. Be graceful in allowing in those that create great impact, but also be graceful in allowing them to leave. Linear time is filled with hooks and attachments, but when we cling to what was, we will miss the miracles of what is happening right now. The astrology today. Jupiter shifts firmly out of Aquarius and into Pisces. It did it from the 13th of May through July 28th. So we got a hint of things to come in 2022. It will be in Pisces solidly until May 10th of 2022. Jupiter is one of Pisces' secondary ruling planets because it ruled Pisces till they discovered Neptune in the 1800s. Pisces has a dual planetary rulership. Both Jupiter and Neptune are its ruling planets and experience a feeling of coming home in Pisces. With Neptune already in Pisces, this means that both of Pisces' planets are in a happy place. This will give us great creative expression and also the ability to manifest those expressions into something that impacts others with a compassionate tone. Our luck improves and life feels richer with more intuitive clarity and perspective. We want to help those that need more help, and while this can make us feel as if we want to rescue something or someone, it is an idealistic expression of what the world is needing from each of us. This Jupiter in Pisces will give us a gentle touch and a deeper understanding of what our next step should be in this life. The negative side of this aspect can be a strong desire to escape this reality and trying to make certain things fit in our small boxes of beliefs. That would be unwise, as it can further self-deception and those feelings of upset and discontent that continue to bubble up. Best to face our problems and take full responsibility. Mars will challenge many aspects today. It is semi-squaring Pluto and will later quincux to Uranus. Those that want power can feel as if nothing is coming their way or in the form they expected. Tensions mount. Expression of what we are feeling seems to be stuck and ineffective. Focus on what we can control. We can control our own bodies and minds. We can do what is necessary to keep our health in alignment with our heart. We are in a time where some sacrifices will be necessary to get us to a new place. But letting go of certain things, while unpleasant, can have a very constructive endpoint. External control over others will fail, and it is not worth the effort. While some may want honest engagements, in reality, most are either unable or unwilling to go that direction. Be aware of what is your projection rather than an honest evaluation of the evidence. We may feel exhausted and drained from the holidays, and while that is normal, it will make us feel a bit impatient with others. Aim for a target, but do not expect to hit the mark the first few times. There are going to be many recalibrations necessary over the next few months, so be at peace with the process and stop placing unreasonable expectations on yourself or others. My quote for today: linear time is filled with hooks and attachments, but when we cling to what was, we will miss the miracle of what is. And my blog for today: I look back on onto the many lifetimes of my past, and I see the focused excitement of certain choices that propelled me into certain experiences and careers. I have clearly been working on writing, poetry, music, art, and dance in many lifetimes. Such choices always manifest with risks and consequences. Dancing in theaters in the old days was dangerous when there were gas lamps. I know because I was born reliving the horrible memory through my childhood of brushing my costume against a gas lamp and my costume going up in flames in a performance. Fire retardant fabrics were not yet invented to a level where they could be embraced or used. And that put an abrupt end to my promising young career as a ballerina in the 1800s. I believe we have tried many things and have had circumstances cause us to fail in a multitude of ways, but each failure shows us something and allows us to refine and look at things with a more specific eye. I believe that great artists have been practicing for lifetimes to be finely known, remembered, and famous, but the enticement is not really about the fame. It is about the experience and the testing of the mind, body, emotions, and soul to accomplish some seemingly impossible tasks. I believe all art is personal. I believe that such creations arise from the deepest places in our psyche. I believe all art is an expression of that spark of divinity that is blazing our karmic journey in this life. It matters not if we find a claim in this life, because the euphoria is in doing it for yourself. I love to watch dance, but actual dancing is a feeling that cannot be fully explained to another. I love reading stories, but the journey to create a story and watch it as it unfolds magically is the creative process that is astoundingly fulfilling. We are the story, and we are on a journey. We are telling the story and living the experience. When I begin writing a poem, I do not know what my intention is when it begins. I get a line that starts repeating in my mind, and since my mind cannot let it go, I then begin to write it down. Just that step, writing it down, unleashes a torrent of rhythms and patterns that take over my being, and poetry flows out of me like a stream cascading down a mountain. For me, it has always been this way. Self-discipline has never been a problem for my core. Responsibility is as easy as getting dressed in the morning. I do not resist either of those patterns. Commitment is the brush in my hand, as life is a canvas that I am in the process of painting. I believe the greatest blocks are not from self-discipline, responsibility, or commitment. I believe the core of all resistance is fear. And fear disguises itself in so many forms that most cannot see past that facade that fear presents. Humanity then spends eons of time looking for ways to cajole themselves to move, find motivation, and pay to get others to help them get on track, when they forget to address and look at the core of it all, which is fear. Thanks, everyone.